Thanks for joining our monthly community webcast. I'm Jürgen Kress, part of the Oracle Integration Product Management team. In case you missed one of our webcasts, on-demand recordings are available. For details, please see our monthly community newsletter and subscribe to our Video Hub partner channel. In today's presentation, Weir and Antonio Amado will present an update on connecting Opera Cloud. Opera is a leading hospitality property management system to check-in hotels. Hi, Luis. Thanks for joining.
Hey, hi, everyone.
Hi, Antonio. Thanks for attending.
Hi, Jürgen. Thanks. Hope you guys enjoyed the session.
Good, Dash. Objective of today's webcast is to introduce the Oracle Opera Cloud Integration Adapter. Oracle offers certified adapters to connect Oracle SaaS like HCM, ERP, and CX, and now also for Opera. These pre-built adapters accelerate SaaS implementations, reduce project risk, and ensure future maintenance. Please pay attention to the Oracle Safe Harbor statement. Please blog and tweet only about services and functionality which is available today. For today's agenda, we will start the presentation with the latest community updates, and then I will hand over to Antonio and Luis to introduce the Oracle Hospitality Solution, the OHIP API platform, and the integration adapter, including a demo. We will wrap up the presentation with a call to action and answer your questions. Quick integration updates. Our community website is the one-stop shopping portal for the latest information on Oracle integration products, including sales kits, training material, and marketing documents. Join our next quarterly integration update webcast on December 16th with Niall Commiskey. As part of the webcast, we will release the November functionality, and Mani Krishnan from the A team will present best practices on HCM integration. For more information, read out our newsletter, including the latest information like the Gartner Quadrant report, where Oracle is named as a leader, success stories from various customers, and an on-demand webcast with London Heathrow Airport. Special thanks to Phil and Dan. New adapters from Avanco and an article from Niall about logging analytics. Until December 31st, we offer free certification. This is a $250 value. Please make use of it and become a certified expert for Oracle application integration. For more information, visit bit.ly/OSCExpert2021. All details are published in our monthly community newsletter. If you're not yet a member, please subscribe now. Quick updates for Oracle Digital Assistant. Same here, all information are published at the developer partner community website. We also distributed the October edition of the customer newsletter for Digital Assistant. And we launched a new certification to become a certified expert on conversational AI. To help you for the certification, we would like to recommend you to attend the hands-on training. It's available now in Spanish or English. It's a 4-day course. First day is an overview. Day 2 and 3 is a hands-on training on Katacoda, and day 4 is best practices. With this training, you can attend and pass the Oracle Digital Assistant Solution Engineer Specialization, which is a free certification. And you can also become an implementation expert, also free of charge until December 31st. If you would like to learn more how to become a certified expert and advance your career, please join us for the next community webcast, December 14th. In case you missed one of our community webcasts, today's webcast is recorded and will be published at the Video Hub channel. For more information, please read the community newsletter and see the latest updates. With this short introduction, I would like to hand over to Luis. Luis, thanks for joining.
Hello, everyone. What a pleasure to be here. Can you please let me know if you can see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Fantastic. First of all, it's such a pleasure to be here, always, Jürgen, in your community to talk about, the advancements and new features that we're adding to Oracle Hospitality in regards to integration and Oracle Integration Cloud. For those of you that are not familiar with Oracle Hospitality, I know that I briefly spoke about this when we did the first webcast for hospitality, but I'll just say it again, just in case some of you didn't attend then and you're not fully into the world of hospitality and Oracle hospitality especially. What we offer is a complete suite of cloud products that aim at help businesses in the hospitality industry fully leverage cloud technologies to streamline operations and elevate ultimately the guest experience. It's all about the guest. It's hospitality. Hotels and resorts, bars and restaurants, even cruise ships can use our software for things like managing the property. That's the property management system. Or processing payments. We have an Oracle Payments Interface, which is a payments gateway. Likewise, we can also manage the cruise property. It's called Shipboard Property Management System, SPMS. We also have a very popular point of sale, POS, called Symphony. And then we also have for central reservations and channel management. If you ever wonder how come you're able to book rooms in Expedia and or Booking.com knows that, what is the availability in these hotels? Well, that's done through a technology called distribution. This product was launched recently and it's super awesome. And then we have the Oracle Hospitality Integration Platform, OHIP, which is partly what we're going to be talking about here today. And this is the product that makes all this information and APIs available to the world. It's how you're able to connect to our APIs and you're able to get access to information. I will talk about this in more details in a second. But just so you understand our footprint and why this is relevant to this forum, Oracle Hospitality is actually the #1 property management system in the world. All major big brands, actually not just in hotels, but also in cruise ships, are using our software. Either the PMS for the property on land, or the SPMS for cruise ships on the sea. We have the dominant position for 4 and 5-star hotels, as well as major cruise lines worldwide. We actually operate in about 190 different countries and languages. We have over 30 years of experience of fiscal and regulatory requirements, which is why we're able to support fiscal requirements across so many countries. We understand the hospitality industry in depth, more than anyone else, and we have a long history of integrations. We have over, I would say about 3,500 integrations already certified and being utilized by many of our customers. Having said that, integration in hospitality is not easy. I come from consulting, and before I actually got into the details of hospitality, the only other industry I could say is as complex is healthcare. That, it is really complicated. It's complicated for many reasons. One of the reasons is given the breadth and depth of the different ecosystems and actors in that ecosystem. You have, thousands of hospitality vendors. These are independent software vendors, otherwise referred to as ISVs, that actually build software that they sell to hotels that add value for things like revenue management or digital guest check-in and check-out experience, or e-menu applications, even facial recognition, now very relevant because of COVID, meaning that you don't want to touch anything, and so on and so forth. However, these vendors need access to data. They need access to functionality. The heart of the hospitality business is the PMS, and therefore they need to connect to our system. But then you have the OTAs. The OTAs are the online travel agents, the likes of Booking.com or Expedia or Opodo, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. These organizations do need access to data. They need access to inventory data about, how many rooms are available. They need access to rates. They need access to availability. They need access to content. What does this room look like? I want to be able to see the room in a picture. And then there is this tools or this other classification of tools that are called channel managers, and they are the ones that kind of do the distribution component that I referred to before. Add to this the fact that, in hospitality, just like any other industry, cloud is a major trend. But let me add some more perspective into this. Hospitality is the second oldest industry in the world. I know it's not really known for being the fastest to adopt new technology. Therefore, I have to say that one of the main drivers, or I would say one of the main reasons that there's so much transformation at a very fast pace going on right now is because of COVID. It's completely transforming the industry. And what that means is that just almost all chains worldwide are having to digitalize their processes in order to meet the new normals around, contactless or cleanliness, housekeeping is super important. And the new travel trends. People want to travel more local. Rules are changing all the time without noticing, like this new variant of the COVID. Long story short is, from an integration perspective, it's absolutely crucial that hotels are able to connect their data, connect their systems, and make it available, not only to be able to move to the cloud, but to make it accessible to all these new vendors and these new solutions that are becoming quite relevant in order to be able to accomplish, this digitalization that I mentioned before. That said, there's another angle to this as well, and that is that many of our big customers, the bigger ones, are also customers of Oracle SaaS ERP, Oracle SaaS HCM, CX, even NetSuite. But their expectation is that they want Oracle to talk to Oracle. They don't want to have 3 Oracle products that don't talk to each other. It sounds very basic, but up till now, Opera Cloud wasn't that, it wasn't that easy to just be able to connect or deliver enterprise integrations, not just with Oracle SaaS, but other third-party applications, okay? And that's why this announcement is so relevant, what we're gonna be talking about today. But before we go into more details, let me just explain to you a little bit more what is this Oracle Hospitality Integration Platform. We call it OHIP. And why is it so relevant? First of all, if you know our legacy offering, it's not one interface, but about 4 in short. They are using legacy protocols. They are proprietary protocols as well. And it's not simple or cheap to integrate. What we've done with OHIP is pretty much unified all of the interfaces into a single platform. Another thing we've done is move into what, there's a new buzzword going around called March, basically microservices, API-led, cloud-native architectures, and headless is the H, sorry, I forgot to say headless. And what we've moved is to this type of architecture. We prefer to call it an open architecture. And what we've done is that all the APIs we use internally, which is actually used by your user interface, we've made available through OHIP. That's over 3,000 API capabilities available. You can do everything from reservation management to inventory management to room management, check-in, check-out, handling folio, bills, invoices, and so on and so forth. And that's why there's so much excitement with this platform and why it's rocking the hospitality industry. In fact, it has changed the game. Another thing that's super important to understand is that for customers, the license to use this platform and all the APIs comes included with the purchase of the Opera Cloud Foundation SaaS application. In the past, that wasn't the case, but for Opera Cloud, that is the case. Furthermore, vendors pay a small fee per call. In the past, they had to go through an expensive and lengthy certification process. Now they have a community that they can, they get help from, and all the, vendors just pay per call. And by vendors, I mean the independent software vendors. I don't mean system integrators. I know that in this forum, many of you are actually ISV, system integrators, sorry. If you are acting on behalf of the customer, then you are considered to be part of the customer. And therefore, you are included within that Opera Cloud license. If you are building commercial software that you sell on a license basis to hotel customers, meaning that you connect once to our API and then you just sell your software, your mobile app, or whatever it is that you're building as a commercial software, then that's when you pay per call, because then you are a vendor. You are also monetizing on this access that we're giving you. Therefore, it makes sense, to do this way. The platform is completely self-service end-to-end. In fact, as I have been talking, you can see on the screen an end-to-end demo of OHIP. That's a developer portal. I'm searching for an API. I think it's customers. I found it. I click on it. I see the API documentation, which is quite nice and well documented. I can see an example. I can see the JSON schema. And then I can just, if I I can go to github.com. I can see, all the open source API specs, which is another great feature. And I can go to the Postman collections, which are completely public, and you can just find in postman.com as well. And we have over 2,000 Postman collections, which is another huge benefit of the solution, that not only you have, we have simplified massively connectivity to Opera Cloud, but in addition, we've documented so many examples, so it's easier to use. And also, we have a marketplace, so SIs and ISVs alike can advertise your integrations with Opera Cloud. And this is very important because customers are actually using this heavily to see who's integrating and who is not. Now, OHIP is great, but OHIP doesn't solve the end-to-end integration problem. OHIP pretty much offers access to our APIs, okay? And manages that access and gives you a lot of insight as to how to consume our APIs. But if you need to integrate, let's say, with Salesforce.com or with Oracle SaaS or with any third party, you need something in the middle that's actually doing that, that integration. And that's where this announcement is super critical. We've now released the Oracle Hospitality Adapter for Oracle Integration Cloud. As you all well know, Oracle Integration Cloud is our leading tool, Gartner leader for enterprise integrations. So it made a lot of sense to also have an adapter for Oracle Hospitality, so customers could better use OIC to also support enterprise integration use cases against Opera Cloud and Oracle Hospitality. It was possible before to use OIC. I just want to be clear, because we expose REST APIs, but because of the nuances of how our APIs work, it wasn't so straightforward to use OIC. If you were using the REST adapter couldn't be used, for example, to auto refresh the auth tokens. You had to do that manually as part of an implementation flow. If you were consuming business events, we do have a business events REST API, but you would have to implement some logic and a scheduler in OIC flows to be able to constantly pull. And this wasn't straightforward. And then if you had many integrations, you had to repeat this several times. With the hospitality adapter, all of that goes away. So the productivity of consuming our REST APIs when it comes to doing implementations in OIC dramatically improves. You're able to build integrations super quick. In fact, the demo that you're going to see today was built in less than a day, okay? And that's to a great extent because of the adapter, but also obviously Niall, Commiskey, and Antonio, who did the demo, they know the stuff super well. They're awesome, but the adapter really, really, really helps. And I don't want to go into more details because I want to hand over to Antonio Amado, who is the product manager for the Oracle Hospitality Adapter. And he's going to walk you through the details of the adapter and is going to present the demo to you and then tell you a little bit more about differences of this adapter with the REST adapter, which is something that we get a lot. And there are fundamental differences. And then he's going to talk about the roadmap. So with that said, Antonio, please share your screen and over to you.
Thanks, Luis. Thanks very much. Hi, everyone. Yes, so we're very proud to announce the availability of the Hospitality Adapter. So as Luis says, it really reduces your development time up to 50% when compared to technology adapters. It manages the connection to the OHIP platform, the platform that Luis mentioned. And all the security details are abstracted to you. And business events are a really important part of integration scenarios in the hospitality world. Just for you guys to have an idea, between 40 and 60% of integration needs that our customers are looking for are based on business events. So we really put a lot of effort in this to make sure this is really simple and really easy to use. Okay, so all of the operations that OHIP exposes are possibly to use with the hospitality adapter. So from that perspective, you guys don't have any limitation. Okay, so this hospitality adapter is the newest addition to the Oracle Industries Hospitality Industries adapters available in OIC, and it can be used in any use case that you might have. So you can leverage. So if you guys are integrating with ERP systems, you can leverage any of the ERP connectivity that already is part of the platform. with this hospitality adapter. The same applies with CX, applications or HCM. So whether it's Oracle or non-Oracle application that you're trying to connect, you will be able to, in a much easier way, to integrate with Oracle hospitality. Okay. So as Luis mentioned, connectivity was possible with REST adapter, and a few people have asked me, if OHIP exposes REST APIs, why can't I just use REST adapter? So we decided to make a comparison between the hospitality adapter and the REST adapter, just to show you how easy the hospitality adapter is to use. So the hospitality adapter, it manages the connection for you. It manages refresh tokens, all those auth technical details. It abstracts that part from you. So in REST adapter, it doesn't manage refresh tokens. So you have to develop, and you have to be aware of how to handle those with the OHIP platform. And when you're configuring the connectivity with the adapter, it's insecure and it's tricky, because you need to expose application keys and client IDs and passwords straight into the configuration. The concept of business events, the REST API doesn't understand that. So that's an Opera, that's a hospitality concept that we have, and we are able to manage that with the hospitality adapter. Also, because of the auth authentication method that OHIP uses, there are a few headers that are always required whenever you're integrating with Opera. So with REST adapter, you always have to understand those headers. You always have to make sure they are present in your requests, and the hospitality adapter manage those automatically for you. Okay. As of today, with the hospitality adapter, you will need to input relative URIs for the path that you're trying to invoke, and also the JSON samples. We have some external dependencies for that. We are working to remove those to simplify the user experience, but with REST adapter today, and you will always require those. Okay, so that will always be the case. So speaking on future plans, what do we have? So as of now, we have the first release of the hospitality adapter. It leverages the OHIP platform as a way to interact, to get data and send data to Opera. It requires, as mentioned, relative URIs and simple JSONs, and it automatically fetches and automatically manages the business events for you. Okay, so what do we have coming up next? So we're working on a technical accelerator to make sure the business events are delivered in the right order, because by default, the OIC platform doesn't guarantee that. We will be working as well on improving the user experience by leveraging the API search engine and not require users to input relative URI, relative path, as well as the simple JSON messages for requests and responses. And looking even further to the future, we want to support the OHIP streaming APIs, which is a new mechanism to deliver business events. We want to be comfortable with the next generation of the OIC platform, and we want to avoid the requirement of having the OIC connectivity agent to pull business events. Okay, so let me show you the agent in action. So when you go to connections, so when you click on create, you will see here the new hospitality adapter is here. Okay, so when you click into it, you'll be brought to the configuration screen. Let me show you one that I already have here. So configuration is really easy. So the only information that you are asked is the URL that the URL of the your OHIP platform. and then client ID, client secret, so the OHIP security policy, so ID, secret, application key, username and password. So all of this information is available in the OHIP developer portal. So you shouldn't have any issues in getting this details. Okay. So, and that's it. Up from here, you have the hospitality adapter correctly configured and ready to be used on an integration. Okay. Let me show you an integration where we have, so the adapter supports both trigger and invoke roles. Okay, so on the trigger role, the adapter is used to manage business events. Okay, so when you drag the adapter into a trigger role, the information you will be asked is the name that you want to call to this endpoint, and then the hotel ID. Okay, so this is the proper ID that you're working with. The external system ID, this is an Opera configuration. Okay, so you shouldn't have issues getting this. And then pulling interval, so if you want to pull business events every 5 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever, the pulling interval that you guys want. And then you have 2 options for getting those business events. Okay, so you can get business events just for the hotel ID that you have specified here, or if you want to get business events for more than 1 hotel ID, you can fetch by external system ID. So you have different hotel IDs associated to the same external system ID. And then you can specify how many business events you want to fetch in each pooling. So you can go from 1 to 20, okay? And the next step is a sample JSON, okay? So you can get this from the OHIP developer portal. So this will be very quickly, you shouldn't have problems getting this, okay? And this is it. So from here, you have your hospitality adapter configured to fetch business events, okay? Let me show you. So when you drag the adapter to an invoke role, let me show you what you will have to configure, okay? So the name of the endpoint, and then you have a screen where you will choose the operations that you want to do with your Opera Cloud, okay? So here you specify the relative URI. You can use template parameters, okay? If you want to specify a profile ID, for instance, on the path, okay? You specify the HTTP method you want to use. And then you have several options to configure request parameters. If you want to define request headers and the request body as well. I can put here just to select this option and have the request body available, and then a response. So the majority of the operations, they send you a response back. So this option is active by default, okay? So you have here template parameters, and you can add extra parameters to your request, okay? On the next screen, this is where you configure your request. So here is where you input your sample JSON. Again, you can easily get this from the OHIP developer portal. And then here you can add additional request headers. And if you see this node is really important, because this is where you realize that the adapter is managing some of the request headers by you. So the application key is automatically added to the request, so you don't need to think about it at all. And the hotel ID, this is automatically added to the mapper, so you can dynamically get and define this value, okay? So very easy to use this. And similarly to the response, so again, from the developer portal, you'll be able to get the JSON sample, and that's pretty much it. So from here, you have your hospitality adapter configured on an invoke role. So any operation OHIP exposes, OHIP supports, you'll be able to use it from the adapter. Okay. So now let me go back to this slide just to mention what we're going to see next. So we have the next, what we're going to see is the hospitality adapter in action in an end-to-end use case with Opera Cloud and Salesforce. Okay, so we're going to see syncing the profile from Opera to CRM. So we have, it can be a mobile application on the hotel, it can be an application from the hotel. So the user creates a new or updates a profile, okay? It will go through the backend to front-end system. This can be any system, okay? It can be OIC, or it can be functions, can be Kubernetes, any system that you guys have considered. So it will go through OHIP from the profile APIs, okay? There's a big set of APIs that you can use, and a profile is changed. It is created in Opera Cloud, okay? And with business events, what happens is Opera Cloud will send this business event to OHIP that is then fetched by OIC, okay? And OIC will then query back Opera, okay, on the same profile APIs to get even more details that are on that profile. And it then creates that profile in CRM, okay? And to show you this in action, so we have a recording. So unfortunately, Niall couldn't be here to show this. So let me put this into play. I hope you guys can see the video. Wait, I think I need to share my screen with audio. Let me just reshare my screen. Share with audio, and that's it. Let me know if you can't hear, guys, okay?
Welcome to this short demo on OIC subscribing to Opera Cloud Business Events, courtesy of the newly released Oracle Hospitality adapter. So as you can see here, this is our trigger. New business event arrives. We check whether it's profile related. Profile related is, okay, a guest profile with their name, contact details, etc. And if it is a profile related business event, we're going to get the profile ID from the business event header here, use that to get the full profile details from Oracle Hospitality. And then with those details, we're going to create a contact in Salesforce. So first step, let's look at how this trigger is actually configured. As you will see here, we have the ability to subscribe to business events for one hotel or for a group of hotels. Here we go. There's the hotel ID. Here's the group of hotels. We can also specify the polling interval, like poll every 5 seconds in this case. And then we've got the polling option. Do we just want business events for a specific hotel ID or for a group of hotels? As you can see here, I'm fetching just for a given hotel ID. And then the event limit. How many business events do I want to process with each poll? Up to 20 I've specified here. The next thing to look at here is actually the data structure returned here. So we can see here, this is not polymorphic, but you can see exactly what's happening here. We've got the module name. In this case, for me, it's going to be profile, and then the action type, what's actually happening with the profile here. Could be new profile, updated profile, deleted profile, etc. Here we see down below the primary key value. So this is the primary key of that profile in Opera. I will use it later in this flow to retrieve the full profile details. Now, as you can see here below are the details. These are like name value pairs, you know, like old value, new value for name, old value, new value for email, etc., etc. So I could actually parse these and use these directly as the input to the Salesforce creation of the contact. But essentially, it's simpler to actually just take the primary key and use that primary key then here in the integration. So that's that there. Let's close that guy. And as you can see here, this is what I'm doing, getting the primary ID, or say the profile ID here, the primary key, using that to get the profile details. And then, of course, using the data from that to create the contact in Salesforce. So like, again, this is another use of the Oracle Hospitality adapter to get the profile details. Very, very simple as well, specifying the operations here. Here we're going to request, profiles, and then it's the profile ID is the variable we're going to be passing. We can look at the response here as well. Now, the response I got just by cutting and pasting the test result from Postman here. So there we go. We've got all of this information here. So that's it. So next step, what we're actually going to do is I'm actually going to create a new profile in Opera Cloud from Postman. And then we're going to see what happens. So here we are in Postman. We've got a new profile. We're creating a new profile for one of our premium customers, Dino Commiskey. So let's just send that message here. You will see here, okay, there's the primary ID here, 45675. So here is the tracking of that actual instance flow in OIC. As you say, we went down the happy path here. We got the profile details, as you say, the ID was 45675. And of course, that was used to create the new contact in Salesforce. So now we can have a look at the message that was sent to us, and you can see his profile, new profile. There's the details, first name, Dino, name here, VIP status, all of the fields there. Okay, so next step is let's have a look in Salesforce to see if the contact is there, just to validate it. So here is Dino in Salesforce with his email address, his mother's email address, and his mailing address here. So job accomplished. Now, if you want to a blow-by-blow account of how I actually implemented it, you can find it on my blog, which is niallcblogs.blogspot.com. Here it is here. On number 893, OIC November released new features, the Oracle Hospitality Adapter. So again, for those folks who want to know blow by blow how this was done, just review this on my blog. Thank you very much.
Okay, so thanks, Niall. I know he's not here, but I have to thank you for helping us promoting this adapter. And I hope you guys were able to see the value of this adapter. We are very excited for this release. And with that, I will hand back over to you, Jürgen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Luis, for the excellent introduction and for driving the hospitality integration.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Antonio, for the excellent demo and the nice overview of the OHIP and the adapter. So before we come to the questions, you can post them in the Q&A anytime, and we will answer them right after the wrap up. In case you're not yet a member in the partner communities, please make sure that you register now. You can visit the hospitality website for more information, and you can also get their OHIP and visit GitHub. And the same for Oracle integration. The website is available, the documentation and the adapters are published in the cloud marketplace, including third-party adapters. So, Luis, we do have a couple of questions.
Awesome.
So let's have a look into it. The first question comes from Gokai, and he would like to know if OHIP has the capability to handle point of sales like micros system interfaces.
It's a very good question. Let me answer it let me try to be accurate. So OHIP exposes APIs that let you do stuff. OHIP on its own is not just going to do everything for you. That's why you need tools like OIC that will help you build that end-to-end integration. So the question really is do we have API capabilities that allows you to integrate a POS system into OHIP? And the answer is partly. We have a tool called IFC8. It's a tool that's deploying on property today. It's kind of like an agent that runs on property that then connects to Opera Cloud, and that exposes interfaces like FIAs and Serial and whatnot. It's what hotels use to actually integrate minibars or door locking systems or telephone systems or even smart TVs, right? When you purchase movies in the room and that gets into your folio and whatnot. So today, that's where that capability lies. But what we're doing is we're working towards OHIP enabling what we call property interface capability. So everything that you can do against this IFC device, IFC agent, you're going to be able to do OHIP APIs. And then obviously you're going to be able to use OIC as well, whenever it adds value. That's the factual answer. And the reason we're taking the strategy is because what we're seeing is that many vendors in this segment are moving to cloud. So they don't want to deal with any more on-premise integrations. They just want to do cloud to cloud, even though the door locking system is actually physically in the hotel attached to a door. These new vendors are modernizing their software. So the door locking system is actually talking to, maybe through a proxy to a mothership that's in the cloud, and then cloud to cloud is integration they want. And we see that more and more and more and more. Excellent question. Thank you. Next one, Jürgen.
The follow-up question is if you can do the same for maintenance software. And there's a similar question from Rahul. He would like to know if they can also connect and integrate with a payment gateway.
Yes, so it's the payment gateway was slightly different. So let me park it. Does OHIP has the capability to handle maintenance software? So I think you're referring to hotel ops, what people refer to as hotel ops software, like Alice, for example. I say yes. In fact, we have a few hotel ops vendors building their integrations today. Some of them are already live with customers. So my suggestion to you would be, explore our APIs. They're in GitHub. Jürgen shared the links. The Postman collections are also there. That's the best place to just go and see what's there. You can also register to get access to OHIP through shop.oracle.com. If you don't make calls, you don't pay, by the way. So, and even if you pay, it's like 10,000 calls, $10. So it's really virtually free to play around. And we give you a free sandbox, so you don't have to purchase Opera Cloud or anything. You just get access to OHIP. You get a sandbox, and then, it would cost you $10 to play around and see whether or not, you can use OHIP. My guess for the second use case is yes. And why should you do that? Well, because we have lots of customers in Opera Cloud. So then you can sell, if you're an ISV, then this opens up a lot of doors for you. The next one on what about third-party integration with your platform? In our case of payment gateway, we would like to integrate Opera's hospitality solution. So we have our own payment gateway. Raul, I can point you to our payments expert to understand a little bit more about what your solution is and whether it makes sense for us to connect our payment gateway to yours. Opera Cloud only integrates with our payment gateway, but then our payment gateway does connect to other payment gateways. For example, you can consider Stripe a payment gateway, right? They're not a bank, right? They're not a payment provider. So we can do this sort of integration. So if you have customers already in hospitality and they're asking you to integrate with Opera Cloud, the right way to do it is through our OPI, Oracle Payment Interface product. That's also something that's in my portfolio. So we can follow up on that. Drop me an email to Louis.weir@oracle.com, and I can connect you to your payments gateway expert, and we can explore whether or not that makes sense to you.
Great. Next question is for Antonio. Phil Wilkins would like to know if the new adapter is part of OIC Standard or Enterprise Edition.
So the adapter is available on both editions, Standard and Enterprise. Okay.
And as a follow-up, can you give any ideas about the pricing
of the adapter?
Yep.
So the adapter comes standard out of the box with OIC. So it's about the message packs.
So there's no additional cost for the adapter?
No, correct. No additional cost.
Okay.
Amazing, Antonio. Great news.
And there's a similar question from Ayman. He would like to know the pricing for the OHIP Opera Cloud and how it's based. If it's based on the number of cores in the mobile case.
Right. So Ayman, let me answer it in two different ways. If you are, for example, a hotel customer, let's say you are Hilton or Melia. Melia is a great example because they actually have an integration with OHIP. Okay. And you are building your own internal mobile app for your customers. That's actually included within your internal use case. Remember what I said at the beginning? OHIP and all calls come included for customers that purchase Opera Cloud Foundation. So if you're a customer and you're building your own mobile app, you don't need to pay anything. If you're a software vendor, meaning that you sell commercial software, like for example, there are many booking engines that build apps that then are basically they are white label, right? So the customer doesn't have to invest in building the app; they can just buy innovation, and therefore the vendor is actually charging the hotel a fee for using the mobile app. So we charge the vendor 10,000 calls $10, and then the vendor charges the hotel whatever the vendor wants to charge the hotel, and that's the model, right? So we only win when everyone wins. Like the whole model of a platform. It's about win-win-win ecosystems, right? The participants of the platform need to benefit. Otherwise, it's not really a platform, right? It needs to be self-service. So that's the model. I hope that answers your question, Ayman. So long story short, if you're a hotel customer and you're building your internal use case and that internal use case is a mobile app, that's included. If you're a software vendor, selling commercial software to hotels, then you need to pay per call. Having said that, we are seeing this model becoming very, very popular. We have onboarded about 250 ISPs into OHIP in the last year. That's about a new vendor every business day, by the way. Hotels are super excited about this because they see the marketplace as a means to buy innovation as opposed to having to build everything from scratch. So our recommendation to hotels, is always to check first in the marketplace to see if they have a solution already, if there is already innovation available for them that they don't have to build from scratch. And if not, then they can build their innovation. But we see both, to be honest. Big brands want to have specialized software for hotel ops or specialized software for managing reservations. And we have brands going live with OHIP for these sort of use cases. And this is, just how the hotel wants to operate, and there's no software they can buy for these type of things because it's extremely specific to the hotel itself, how they want to run and do things. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes, very much. Luis, the next question is, how can a partner get started with OHIP and Oracle integration? And I show again the slide from the call to action. Maybe you can go through the steps.
It's super easy. You see the link that says get OHIP. I'm highlighting it here. So if you go there, that will take you directly to the page where you can register to access OHIP. And I do mean register because you will not pay unless you make calls, okay? And you will pay peanuts to try out the platform. $10,000, then 10,000, forget what I just said. 10,000 calls, $10, okay? Once you have access to OHIP, we strongly recommend that you visit our GitHub page. In there, you'll find different links, like for example, to our Postman collections and loads of pre-built recipes, so you can get started in no time. And then, of course, we have documentation in the developer portal once you get access to OHIP. But in reality, that's it. It's super simple. No more.
So, Luis, once again, how much do you pay for your peanuts?
10,000 calls, $10. If you make 10,001 calls, that's $20. If you make 19,199, that's $20. So it's by the bundle of 10,000 calls.
Okay. So on the integration side, please visit the integration website. And there you can start a free trial for 30 days for you to start as a partner. And to get trained, we recommend that you sign up for the community newsletter. As part of the community, we are going to run again hands-on trainings in January, which are free of charge, where you can get trained and certified on Oracle integration. and the training is also available on demand. For starters, that's really the best kickstart, and you can find more adapters and more information on the cloud marketplace. And regarding the integration pricing, the OHIP adapter is part of the standard edition, so that's a very low cost point for you also to start with the Oracle integration and connect to all the SaaS environments. Okay, next question comes from Keval. Where is the recording available? For the recording, please visit our community newsletters. We publish the recording there. And at Oracle Video Hub, that's the place where you find all the recordings. You will see a channel for the PaaS partner community where we also post today's webinar, including the slides. So thanks for the excellent webcast. Thank you for the nice overview and the wonderful collaboration with the hospitality team. We are really excited also from the integration team, and we can see already first partners quickly using the technology and starting with first projects. If you need support, let us know. We also run the partner Slack channels where we can collaborate and support you. Luis, Antonio, any comments from your side before we close the call?
There's one more question from Celine.
Sure.
What kind of 10,000 calls cost $10? That's a very good question. So we don't charge for auth calls. For example, when you need to go and get a token, we don't charge for that. That would be very unfair. We don't charge for 500 errors. That also would be very unfair because, you know, that means that you are paying for an error in the system, and therefore we don't charge for those. And depending on the 400, you will not pay for that call either. If it is a 400, for example, resulting from you not consuming our API properly, then you will pay for that call. If it is for not found, that means that you're calling an endpoint that doesn't exist, that also you'll pay for that call. So that's pretty much it. Does that answer your question? Well, I assume that answers your question because I'm not sure.
So thank you very much. Thanks for today's call. Any comments from you, Antonio?
Thank you very much, Jürgen. It was always a pleasure working with everyone, and I hope you guys enjoyed the session.
If you have further questions, you can reach out to Antonio, Luis, Niall, or myself. Feel free to connect on LinkedIn and collaborate on Twitter. So thanks for attending today's webinar. Once you leave, please complete the online survey and tweet at #PaaScommunity. And we are looking forward to welcome you again on December 14th. Carmen and myself will give an update on how to become a certified expert. And if you would like to join us on December 14th, you also can take advantage of the free certification, which is still available in the whole month of December. Thank you very much.